Recording in progress.
Good morning. This is Fellowship of Spirit from beautiful, cold Farmington, New Mexico. We were supposed to get some moisture this weekend, and we got virtually nothing. A little bit of rain, what I'd call a drizzle, and no snow. And so I'm very disappointed. I was looking forward to a snow. Anyway, good morning, everybody, and welcome. We have Travis with us today from California, and we have some kids today, a couple of kids, and so we've got a few people here today. And I would like to, since we don't have any guests to welcome, I would like to read our mission statement and vision statement. Our mission is to positively affect our world by extending peace, love, spirituality, understanding, and friendship to all people with grace and gratitude. Our vision is to be a spiritual center of awakening, the I Am Christ consciousness, and membership is open to everyone. And we have a prelude by Margaret Cheeseborough, He by Jack Richards. Thank you, Margaret. Father, your peace is mine. What have I to fear that anything could rob me of what you would have me keep? I cannot lose your gifts to me, and so the peace you gave is with me still, in quietness and in my own eternal love for you. Namaste. And we have a song in the binder, Down in My Soul. I love that song.
I hear the music
Down in my soul, I hear the music. Down in my soul, I hear the music. Down in my soul, and the whole wide world is my home, and the whole wide world is my home. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul, and the whole wide world is my home, and the whole wide world is my home. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul, and the whole wide world is my home, and the whole wide world is my home. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul, and the whole wide world is my home, and the whole wide world is my home.
Thank you, Margaret. If you will read along with me as our reflective moment. Love produces a flow of energy that I now feel. I love others more than ever, and I feel privileged to be here. Love flows from one person to another as we create an atmosphere of holiness, and so it is. And we don't have Yvette here with us. She's having microphone issues. So if you will spend a moment with me, we're sending spiritual energy treatment to George Harris, Ron Holloway, Debbie Ward, Bill Clark, and several others that are on our list for prayer group on Thursdays. So we will take this moment. Okay, thank you very much. And
we talked with George this weekend.
I don't think anybody out there can hear you back there. Okay.
Want me to come up?
Yes, please. Of course, I guess Travis is the only one on Zoom, but still, he'd probably like to hear you.
Yeah, Kate and I talked with George yesterday, I believe it was, wasn't it? And he seems to be doing better. He's back out of the hospital. Hopefully they took care of his bladder infection. And he's looking forward to being, as he said, more involved with Fellowship Spirit. So we're going to try to encourage him and help him. Right now we're working on his computer so that he can have a better Zoom presence. And we'll keep you informed.
Okay, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Okay, and do you have a spiritual reading, either one of you? No? Please, Shay. Thank you.
You do not have a spiritual reading?
We do.
Oh, okay.
I'll hold it.
Okay, this is from Elizabeth Gilbert. Her love letter today. Dear love, what would you have me know today? And she seems to get where I am every week. Angel pop, little molecule, dust mote of starlight, tiny miracle. It's been a minute since we got to tell you that we don't need you to improve in any manner whatsoever. I know it's shocking. We love you exactly the way you are, precisely this way. Aging, a little weary this week, a little restless, but with not a lot of energy to do anything, a little sad about the state of everything, and irritated with yourself this afternoon for not being able to force yourself to be in higher spirits. What if we told you that this is just right? Perfect concoction. Don't change a thing. Hold it right there, in this exact moment. Let us behold you. Let us behold you. The other day you saw a photo of yourself and you haven't been wearing bras lately because you simply can't deal anymore, and you've switched over to tank tops that are comfortable but don't really do much in terms of support, but at least keep it PG. And hey, it's not like you're running a marathon or anything. But anyhow, in this photo, you notice that your boobs are basically below your bottom ribs at this point, and you kind of flinched in pain at noticing this. And then you had this thought, well, that must be where they want to live right now. Exactly. We rejoiced when we felt you say that, and rejoiced further when we saw that the realization brought you joy. My boobs are where they are because that is where they want to be. Yes, dear. And the lines on your face are where they are because that is where they want to be. What if everything is where it wants to be? What if everything is what it wants to be? Not just where it has to be, but where it wants to be. Remember when your friend Martha Beck taught you that magic is nothing more than the thing that wants to happen next? Can you look around the world at yourself, at everything and everyone, and maybe consider the idea that all of this is what wants to happen next? Can you imagine not needing to understand or fix any of it any more than you will try to fix your boobs? I know there are ways to get those knockers moved up to a new zip code, but is that really how you want to spend your life, your money? Resisting that which wants to happen next? Resisting that which is happening? We want you to know something. Love does not look at anything and need it to be changed. How in the world would that be love? I love you, now go be totally different? Who even says that? I mean, of course, you have said that to many, many people that you have purported to love, but was that love? Love has no need to interfere. Love looks at everything, 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 and marvels, saying, well, this is simply incredible to behold, because it is. Objectively, inarguably, everything, everything, everything is simply incredible to behold, and that includes you. We ask you to surrender. We do so not because we want to see you defeated and beat down, but because we want you to re-enter into the field of love. And you can't come in fighting anything or anyone. You really can't. Even fighting in the name of love does not bring more love. It brings more fighting. You are afraid that surrendering to that which is will make you passive, limp, useless, purposeless, lazy, bored, and boring. But have you tried it, baby girl? Have you really and sincerely tried it? Not giving up in defeat, but surrendering into the extraordinary moment that is, and regarding it with utter abject wonder? You have a quote right there on the wall right next to your bookcase from Kafka, who said, "You do not need to leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. Do not even listen, simply wait. Be quiet, still and solitary. The world will freely offer itself to you to be unmasked. It has no choice. It will roll in ecstasy at your feet." It has no choice. You love this quote so much that you illustrated it, framed it, carried it with you to every home you have ever lived in, and always make sure it is on display in your office where you write. But honey, have you tried it? Have you really tried it? Do you know the subsets of humans who do not leave their rooms, who stay solitary, who do nothing, who don't even listen? The severely depressed, or the most sincerely spiritual people in the world, the seekers of the most profound and lasting truth? Ask yourself, my love, what would surrendering look like in this moment? What would letting go look like in this moment? What would not changing anything look like in this moment? If you look very closely, you will see that it looks like love. Be a yes to all that is, sweetheart. It's going to be what it is anyhow. But what if you could love it, yourself included? Your beautiful, restless, perfect, no need to be transformed self included. Let the world freely offer itself to you. It has no choice. I love you. Let's keep going.
Thank you, Shay. I like her writings, I really do. And even though that was kind of directed towards us women, I think the thought goes to everybody. So thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, we have a song, How Great We Are, in your book, your binder.
O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, our power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, the Spirit in me. How great we are, how great we are. Then sings my soul, the Spirit in me. How great we are, how great we are. When through the woods and forest glades I wander, and hear the birds sing sweetly in the trees, when I look down from lofty mountain grandeur, and hear the brook and feel the gentle breeze, then sings my soul, the Spirit in me. How great we are, how great we are. Then sings my soul, the Spirit in me. How great we are, how great we are. And when I think of God's great love not sparing, the Christ within the brotherhood of man, when I look down, all men live harmonious, where hand in hand together we shall stand. Then sings my soul, the Spirit in me. How great we are, how great we are. Then sings my soul, the Spirit in me. How great we are, how great we are. When Christ within with shout of acclamation, shall take me home. What joy shall fill my heart? Then I shall pass in humble adoration, and there proclaim, O God, how great we are. Then sings my soul, the Spirit in me, how great we are, how great we are. Then sings my soul, the Spirit in me, how great we are, how great we are.
Beautiful song. I love that song. Besides, it's easy to remember the words too. Okay, our Travis from California gets to come here every once in a while, but right now he's still in California. So I would like you to welcome Robert Travis and hear his words of wisdom, which are going to tell us today the lit up universe and I. Welcome, Travis.
Well, thank you. And the message is this lit up universe and I. It kind of brings it home a little bit more. And yeah, I'd like to wish everybody a very happy 2026 conference championship weekend. And you might be pleased to know that my boobs also are right where they want to be. I never thought I'd say that in a message. You won't know it because they're behind this Broncos 1987 AFC Championship jersey that I'm sporting today. So this lit up universe and I is something that has come easily to me as a topic, given the work I've been doing, and I want to share that with you because really I believe that I share a common goal with perhaps all of those who study mental spiritual healing, and that goal to be more effective in those endeavors. And I'm thinking that what I have to share may be of value to those who want to sidestep or put behind them some of the greater obstacles to demonstrating successful prayers. Because I think we also may share some common frustrations with this kind of work. Perhaps we must turn to some most fundamental principles upon which this work is based and be open to how we might go about things a little bit differently than we have in the past. And I am going to be deferring to somebody that might be dear and familiar to many of you. That would be Neville Goddard. And it was last July when my Tuesday evening healing instructor, Aman, based his night's lesson on Neville. And before I go any further, I want to say he repeatedly invites those of us who have who participate in his Tuesday night classes to let other people know that they can join us. And so if there are interested parties, I think I've done this before, but I would once again extend the link and give you a pathway to joining us on Tuesday nights. We generally have 15 to 20 people in class, and it's very advanced principles of spiritual mental healing. So anyway, Aman presented this. Neville Goddard reveals the profound truth that your imagination is the creative force behind all reality. that imagination is the bridge between the inner world and the outer world. And I'll pause to say, unfortunately, we let our preoccupation with daily details, experiencing unwanted conditions and circumstances, to be too much of a factor in what turns out to be the nature of our subconscious minds. So we want to change that. Continuing, Neville teaches that every experience you have in life begins as an imaginal act. Have you heard that term, imaginal? Imaginal. I've only encountered it in reference to the state that, the very fluid and unformed state that is assumed by a caterpillar / butterfly during the transformation. It's the imaginal stage, I think they call it. So in this case, every experience you have in life begins as an imaginal act when things that are yet to be are unformed, a thought or feeling that you have impressed upon your subconscious mind. Over time, this imaginal act crystallizes into physical form, manifesting as events, relationships, conditions, and circumstances. It is the mechanism through which you can shape your reality, fulfill your deepest desires. And I'm noticing that this text right here says, through which you can shape your reality. And that is to be qualified later on in this message, but I'll leave that for now because we get away from it being you or I that does the work. But I find that this text is a very fine example of a theme, a familiar trend in New Thought that when we study it. But what it brings up for me is, what is the hurdle that most of us need to clear in order to accomplish greater fulfillment? As written, Jesus provides us with this clue as he was responding to the very frustrated disciples before him and shouted or stated very strongly, "O ye of little faith." And isn't that what we might say to ourselves when our prayers don't accomplish our goals? O ye of little faith, not deep enough conviction, not strong enough belief. And I think that we could say that what is going on here, in spite of the affirmation work we may be doing and our other spiritual practices, that there is too much of an impact of the details of daily life, experiencing unwanted, undesired circumstances and conditions, and those details generate thoughts day by day, all day long, that tend to have too much of an impact on the nature of our subconscious minds in favor of our conditions that are unwanted continuing to persist. So how can we alter this equation to transform our lives for the better? I would say, how might I, or how might you, muster up, and this is again a quote from the text, muster up the, quote, emotional intensity that convinces the subconscious mind to accept the imaginal act as fact. How can we do this? Get that emotional intensity that is essential in moving us to the greater yet to be that sometimes seems to continue to be out of our reach. What we want to do is adequately reduce the impact that the details of daily experience has on the subjective or the subconscious mind. which is often referred to as the builder of the body. And this equation I'm talking about, our affirmations, our spiritual work versus the powerful influence of what we experience day to day, this equation may determine how the subconscious mind does build the body. So how might we muster up this emotional intensity? Well, a couple of months ago, I often spent some time laying on my bed before going to sleep doing some healing work, and I very often tend to do a lot of such work with light. And I was even hoping to avoid an upcoming procedure. So I'm working with the light, and my tendency to do that was very much influenced by Mozumdar, who I've talked to you about in the past. He was teaching over 100 years ago in the United States. And one of my favorite pieces of advice that I've encountered anywhere is this, that he says, visualize the superconscious living and lighted presence radiating brilliantly in all directions from the wounded part of your body. And that's fine. That's a good idea. But I decided I wanted to stop referring to and even believing in and empowering the fact of a wounded part of my body. So I started saying that I want to visualize the superconscious living and lighted presence radiating brilliantly in all directions from the entirety of my being. And so as I lay there doing this work on that particular evening, I began to think about the dynamics of that radiating light. How much light is it? Where's it coming from? And then I remembered right away, Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, said, it is the nature of the infinite to be fully present at every point in the universe. At its core, this sounds mathematical. It sounds like it might be from physics. And in spite of having always gotten A's in math, and I got an A in physics in college, this idea about the infinite was something new to me. I had never considered it. And so again, I'll repeat that quote because I love it. It is the nature of the infinite to be fully present at every point in the universe. And it actually bears close resemblance to something Reverend Mark Wolf used to always say that I've shared with you. So anyway, then I had this aha moment because I understand that points are dimensionless. No width, no length, no area. They are dimensionless. And so what that means, if the infinite is fully present at every point in the universe, then God, or the infinite, is fully present in an infinite number of points, even in every cell of my body. Now, we like to say God is light. I'm returning to the light. God is light. So at every point in the universe, God as light is fully present. And so I was talking about this, how this impacted how I thought of my body as being filled with light. I was talking about this with a friend of mine up there in Durango, a dear friend. We go back 50 years. Well, September will be 50 years. She's a person that studies with a teacher from the Taoist tradition and puts such concepts in terms of qi being everywhere present and very foundational to the essence of the universe. And she said, yes, omnipresent. Okay, once again, I thought I never gave omnipresence its due, and never attributed the value of the very concept uh, adequately. You know, I mean, how many of us have heard omnipresent? Maybe some of you have really been impacted by what omnipresent means, but I never did fully appreciate the meaning of that. Omni means all. I thought omnipresent meant everywhere present, but whatever, it does mean all present. And so this universe is all lit up with God light, God presence. And so am I. The universe is all lit up, and so are you. And as I thought about it, I began to think of the many applications or associated statements that support and go along with this, such as God is closer than hands and feet. Well, now I've got something more that just really brings it home in a profound and powerful way. If I want to talk about hands and feet, every cell of my hands and feet has an infinite number of points of God presence in them. And that's really a cool thing to consider in my healing work. I mean, it really brings the presence of God right here and now. Also, there is the idea of the kingdom, queendom being at hand. That's a kingdom, queendom, as I like to say. It is also a synonym of the Garden of Eden. But there is no difference, no delineation, no border between this lit up universe and the self that I perceive myself to be. There is no place where I leave off and the rest of the universe begins. In fact, think about it. Many of us have encountered numerous references to the depths of our being infinite, and I truly believe that. Another idea is the colors of the rainbow. All the colors of the rainbow blended together appear to us as white. And I'm thinking of this because there are numerous healing traditions which say that there is, or which treat various wavelengths or various colors as being specifically designated to enhance the well-being and to nurture certain organs of our body. There's a color for lungs and for the heart, for the liver and for the kidneys and so on. And so when we're when we're perceiving of ourselves being filled with light, we can also know that whatever frequency, wavelength, or color is required for any part of our body, it is fully present there in an infinite number at an infinite number of points in every cell of that organ, and so on. I also thought about how the infinite shows up as perfect patterns, whether it's the extraordinary frost, you know, back when we only had single window panes and it was well below freezing outside, maybe below zero outside, the frost that developed on the window panes would look like ferns. I mean, extraordinary patterns, like in snowflakes, and the patterns of solar systems, the design and the patterns of ecological systems, these accurate reflections of the divine everywhere present. And here, those, well, I'll let that sit, because I want to go to this reference from James Joyce that I've also shared with you in the past. From the Portrait of the Artist of a Young Man, he refers to the devotions that were undertaken where they thought of the Father from all eternity, contemplating his own divine perfections as in a mirror, and thereby eternally begetting the eternally begotten Son. So many of us have come to understand that the creative process by which the whole manifest universe has come into being is the same creative process that we utilize. And in fact, we are directing the power that is actually God's power in creating our conditions and circumstances. And now we can understand that we can imagine that the Father from all eternity, contemplating his own divine perfections as in a mirror, that this is happening in an infinite number of points in every cell of our bodies. And then a very closely associated notion with these other two. Again, I've shared this from Reverend Mark Wolf when he used to say this at the beginning of every service. Life has but one divine will, and that is fully to express itself at every point in the universe. And you and I and everyone else are one of those points, an infinite number of those points. Are we starting to get the dynamic action going on throughout the entirety of our beings? It's really profound to fully plumb the implications of all of this. Neville says, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and continue feeling that it is fulfilled until that which you feel objectifies itself. In other words, that which you feel becomes manifest, shows up in your space and time. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Now, herein lies what may be a hiccup, a potential hiccup, or a stumbling block in our work. He's telling us to assume that feeling, but getting the feeling of the wish fulfilled might be very difficult indeed. And I think that is often what is a block for us, whether that wish fulfilled is being cancer-free, restoring mental clarity, having the properly sized prostate gland, a healthy heart, a return of youthful vigor and vitality. I must tip the scales, it seems. My visioning and my affirmations need to have such an impact on my subconscious mind that, oh, I've lost my place here. Aha. Tipping the scales, my visioning and affirmations and such that are impacting my subject mind, that has to be more than my thoughts that happen all day long, day after day, that are associated with the details and of the experience of those unwanted conditions and circumstances. This commonly stands as a very tall order. I mean, how many times a day, if we have an unwanted condition or circumstance, are we faced with its details, and it generates thoughts that go into subconscious mind? And how are we going to spend enough time with our affirmation work and other spiritual practices to counter that effect? But I would suggest that there is something that is doable. Amon's lesson presents this, and I can't say if these are Amon's words or Neville's, but they are at least Neville Goddard inspired. And he talks about living from the end. And what he means by living from the end is the end result. Being cancer-free, healthy heart, vigor and vitality, whatever it is you want to visualize and believe that it is already done. And living according to that is what he means by living from the end. And he says it is not about hoping or wishing for your desire. Not about hoping or wishing for it. It's about fully identifying with the version of yourself who has already achieved it. Okay, I take that to heart, and interestingly enough, I've already done this. I've already bypassed wishes and desires. And perhaps you can bypass wishes and desires because those have to do with the real conditions you're experiencing in everyday life, and they are really powerful to deal with. But here is something, and this is what's doable. I don't have to wish that the infinite is fully present at every point in the universe. I don't have to wish that. I accept it. I already know that. There's no convincing me. I don't have to do that. Like I would have to convince myself in the face of a condition that something else is the ultimate reality and the fact. I don't have to desire that I'm all lit up with God presence, which is going about the business of fully being itself right here as me and through me. I fully accept that. I know that. I don't have to wish also, I don't have to wish and believe that certain parts of my body are well. That's not my business, is it? Think about it. Didn't Jesus say, "It is not I that doeth the works, it is the Father within"? Why would I, or why would you demand of yourself to do the healing work, doing more than Jesus did, doing more than Jesus thought to undertake on his own? It is the Father within that does these things. So do you believe these things? Because if you believe those, then you're way ahead in the game of healing or in manifesting a greater yet to be. So tell me, is there anything inside of you doubting that the infinite is fully present at every point in the universe? Is there anything in you doubting that we're all lit up with God presence, which is going about being itself fully as each one of us? Because that's life's only agenda. I mean, these are things that I have said many times, and many others have said many times, and you've heard written and read and seen on videos, these basic principles of new thought. And what we're really starting to talk about is grace, taking the approach of accepting the grace of God already about the business of doing everything, making the adjustments and corrections that need to be done that are way beyond my ability to do those things anyway. So, what about it? Are you finding that you can say no arguments opposing? Can you say with me, I am fully identifying with the version of myself who has already achieved believing these things? These things I have laid out repeatedly here. Can you say that? I am fully identifying with the version of myself who has already achieved believing these things. In that case, so much of the work is bypassed. I don't have to do any healing work. My daily assignment and your daily assignment is to remember to dismiss any healing work that is not mine or yours to do. The Father within doeth these things. I don't have to try to heal my heart or become free of cancer or demonstrate more vigor and vitality or any of these things. I set these concerns aside and think of them not. For if I think of them, if I think of healing that needs to be done, then I am believing in those conditions and I am empowering them to persist in my experience. And I don't want to do that. I do not believe in them. They no longer have a foundation of being, something which for far too long I provided with the use of my mind that was misdirected, misguided. So what I do then is I exercise the option of knowing that I am lit up with God presence. For there are an infinite number of points of light, truth, divine action, and all things divine, love, peace, wisdom, beauty, even in every cell of my body. Lit up am I. You are lit up. Can you believe that? Can you feel that now? As I read these words, adopt them for yourselves. I know that I am lit up with God presence. It is established. I have no opposing arguments in me. It is done. It is true. There's a song we used to sing in a church that I was in the choir. We sang every week. We sang this song as people were filing out. Already done. Already done. Whatever you've been asking the Lord to do, it's already done. Divine nature that you have inherited from the source of all creation, that divine inheritance, your nature, is the answer to all things. You don't have to do any healing work. You and I must simply know I am lit up with God presence. In every cell of my body there are an infinite number of points of everything divine and divine activity, the Father contemplating his own divine perfections and thereby begetting the eternally begotten Son, the Christ in every cell of my body. It's happening as I'm speaking, as you breathe. It's going on. It is grace. Can you say grace? And so it is.
Travis? And yes, because Course in Miracles teaches us all of this, we believe in it, we feel this way, but it sure is nice to be reminded. So thank you very much for reminding us of what we need to believe in, and to know that if we're fired up with God's grace and it's within us, we don't need to worry about it or fear it. It's there. So thank you for the reminder. Steve wants to say something.
Thank you, Travis. That was wonderful to be reminded of our healing being present in us without request, because of the God within, my Father within. I've been going through a healing crisis myself, and I know you have too, and you look wonderful. So your practice is working well, and I'm going to take that as an example for me and work it also. Thank you so much for your talk.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, anybody else have anything they'd like to say? Well, thank you very much for being here, Travis, and I'll be in touch with you to figure out the rest of our scheduling, see what we can work out, okay?
Okay.
And thank you so much for those words. We take them to heart. We have a number 357 in the Brown Book. Miracles are happening.
Eye hath not seen, and ear hath not heard the good that God has for me. My mind is now open, my heart is receptive, and miracles are happening to me. Oh, miracles are happening, yes, miracles are happening, yes, miracles are happening to me. My mind is now open, my heart is receptive, and miracles are happening to me right now. Eye hath not seen, and ear hath not heard the good that God has for me. My mind is now open, my heart is receptive, and miracles are happening to me. Oh, miracles are happening, yes, miracles are happening, yes, miracles are happening to me. My mind is now open, my heart is receptive, and miracles are happening to me right now.
Thank you, Margaret. So I know you're going to be surprised, but we have children today. We'll do our celebration of abundance if you will repeat with me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive through infinity. And if you have anything to put in, please just bring it up here. Okay, and let's see what the kids have to say today. What is that?
It's a scent bag.
Oh. Ooh, it smells good too. Wow. Oh. Is this one working, Shay? Okay.
Yeah, it is. Okay. So what we did today in class was we did the scent beads that we handed out to you guys. And I'm going to be reading out of Mountains, Meadows, and Moonbeams. The skunk with spunk. They tell you not to play with me, and if you do, you'll be sorry. They say I have some awful stinks, and that I'm really quite a jinx. The talk about me does offend, I just want to be your friend. You have not even met me, so how can you agree? If you would come and meet me, I'm sure that you would see. The talk about me does offend, I just want to be your friend. They say I have a really bad smell, and that I often repel. But no one even knows me well, so tell me how they tell. The talk about me does offend, I just want to be your friend. If to the gossip you do listen, a fine friend you'll be missing. If you would use your own mind, a new playmate you will find. For talk about me does offend, I just want to be your friend.
Lesson. Have you ever listened to someone talk bad about another? If you did, let me ask you why. What good came out of it? Any? Of course not. When you listen to gossip, you are really showing others that you cannot think for yourself or choose your own friends. It is a very, very bad thing to talk about others in an unkind way. If people know you don't want to hear gossip, it makes them feel a little ashamed for spreading stories about others. Perhaps they'll stop doing it. You are a beautiful part of God's Spirit just as everyone else is. No matter what bad thing a person has done, they shouldn't be talked about. Walk away from a gossiper. Use the fine mind God gave you to make your own judgment of people. Everyone in this entire world has done at least one thing that they are sorry for. Because we are a part of God, we must forgive them and leave all the true judging to God alone. You wouldn't want people to gossip about you, so walk away from those who gossip about others.
Thank you, ladies. It's nice to have you back with us. Okay. In closing, I would like to read from this wonderful little book, The Daily Book of Positive Quotations. doing for others. There is nothing to make you like other human beings so much as doing for them. We like ourselves better when we help others, but the astonishing thing is that we also tend to like others better. It is something of a gift when people allow us to help them. We appreciate the givers of this gift. Remember this, I will help others and realize that they are giving me a gift that I welcome. Thank you all for being here today, and if you will join me up front, we will sing our way out of here.
I think the TV just turned itself off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think
Have,
that's the problem.
have that problem with the computer, but not the TV. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, weave us together in unity, and yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, family all are we. So yes, let's walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. And thank you all for being here, and have a blessed week.
Thank you.
I need to look on my phone and see if I can figure out where the control thing is for that, because I don't have a password for it. You were
I
gonna,
sent you a password last time and it reestablished it.
I didn't get it. Or at least I didn't see